about this toad. He's mad at you. Why didn't you text him back? Sarah?
I think that was actually a toad.
It's what it says.
Oh, I thought it said true facts about this frog.
I think it says about this toad.
Okay. Because that was definitely a toad.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
Hello, BBs. The Electronic Entertainment Expo is behind us. Mm-hmm. It's over now. And as the first, best, and only morning show in existence, it's our job to talk about it. Hi, I'm Anthony Carboni.
Hi, I'm Saige Ryan.
And that was either a frog or a toad.
And it's too early. Good morning. Hope you're having a very good day. We made it to Wednesday. Yesterday was the last day of E3.
Why do you do this?
Because there's a bunch of people that are still doing their own little independent showcases. They were announced over the course of this whole week.
Yeah, I mean, there's still things happening. But
and also, yesterday sucked.
But the official... Yeah.
That's why, also. It's because, it didn't feel like it, and I'm hoping there are still some exciting announcements to come, at least from indie studios.
I mean, we got that Tendy.
We did get Tendy.
We got that Ninty.
I think we should not call it Tendy.
That Ninty.
Tendo.
Tendo.
We decided on Tendo.
We got that Tendo.
We got a Nintendo announcement, and hey, we got it. We got the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer.
We sure did.
What we didn't get...
We got the Skyward Breath. Breath of the Sword.
Mm-hmm. What we didn't get was a name, which was very interesting.
No. And, I was like, aren't they... They're a little far into development. Nintendo says, oh, we got a name. Mm-hmm. We got a name. You can't know it yet.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
They said we cannot tell them the name.
If we tell them the name, it'll give away what it is.
They will know too much. It's because it is called Zelda. Eat shit.
It ends at the end of that trailer with Link just hitting the ground and splatting.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Zelda, eat shit. I think it's an entirely Tingle-based game. That's what I said on Twitter yesterday.
That's good.
I said I believe that the title is
Same thing.
The Legend of Zelda: The Reign of Tingle.
We do love Tingle in this house. What Nintendo said on the matter was, as for why we're holding back the name, you'll just have to stay tuned, obviously. Zelda names are kind of important. Those subtitles, they start to give little bits of hints about maybe what's going to happen. Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be shorthand. It's natural for people who want to find a shorthand and a way to frame it. We're still calling it the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
You literally don't time travel in A Link to the Past. Breath of the Wild literally doesn't tell you anything about anything. Ocarina of Time gives away what it's about.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I do agree that we should be calling it Breath of the Weth.
It's the leg of Zeg, Breath of Weth.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
We made
This
it.
is it. Maybe they don't want to say it because of that.
Because it's Breath of Weth?
Because they don't, they're not ready for us to all know that that person was right. That's leg of Zeg, Breath of Weth.
Yeah, they're trying to settle out of court with the person who did Leg of Zeg.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, damn it, that was our next thing. Shit.
Tom Biden in the live studio audience says wind breather. First it was the Breath of the Wild, but now you are part of the wild, so now you are the wind breather.
Mouth breather.
No.
The Legend of Zelda, mouth breather.
Mouth breathing. We also got, we did do a live react, and we are on the run. We are coming to you from a secret location where we're hiding from Nintendo of Japan's lawyers.
That is very, very true. So you know what? We can do a quick little recap for those who missed the stream yesterday.
Yeah. There was some really good stuff. First, we got Metroid 5. You might be saying, no, Anthony, you mean Metroid Prime 4.
No, we don't mean that.
No,
we mean Metroid 5.
I mean the two-dimensional Metroid series got Metroid 5. It's called Metroid Dread. And it looks really good. It looks to me like they did their best to get a good Metroid game out after they found out that Prime 4 had to be restarted from scratch again.
Right.
It looks very much like the 3DS one.
Yeah, it looks fine. It's not something that is
looks-
super appealing for me personally.
I think it looks good. I watched the Treehouse demo of it after E3's or during E3 yesterday. They did a 3-hour block of gameplay of a lot of their games. They played about 40 minutes of
Treehouse.
Metroid Dread.
Okay.
Thank you, Treehouse. Yeah, they did about 40 minutes of Metroid Dread, and looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
They opened the Nintendo Direct with Ganon, and we all went, "Is this it?
So
Would
smart.
they open with a Zelda?"
It was a.
No,
it was a.
they
it was,
wouldn't.
It
They
was a
wouldn't
clearly
Breath of the West
dead
first.
or like knocked out Ganon.
Yeah.
Being carried over a dark, like ruined landscape, and we were like,
But no, it had nothing to do with Zelda. It was for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The new fighter is
Kazuya.
Kazuya. Thank you. From Tekken. My brain just didn't want
Just
to
went
read. It
bloop.
just,
And it was very funny. It turned into Kazuya throwing all of the Smash fighters off of the cliff that he threw everybody off the cliff in.
which now we're allowed to show this footage.
Yeah,
for
we-
some reason they were like, you can show it right after, just not while
Immediately
we do.
after we were allowed to show it. But yeah, so this you can see, like, you thought it was, oh, is this the Age of Calamity?
Oh shit! What's this? What are they doing? That's a Ganon. And no, it's a Tekken.
No, it's a Tekken. It's a Tekken and a Smash Brothers. And you know, like I said yesterday, I'm just excited it's not another anime sword. We were getting nothing but anime swords for a long time.
Excellent for this trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you wouldn't. You couldn't. Does. Make sure he's down.
Love it.
Cute.
But yeah, you know, everything. Roll that intro. You know, everything has been anime swords lately.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that they're getting some non-anime swords.
Speaking of being, of not wanting a bit of anime,
Oh, okay, yeah.
they started off the Life is Strange trailers with their own little, like, weird animated short that looked like they were doing the Life is Strange anime for no reason. It was just to tell you that the Life is Strange Remastered is coming to Switch and that Life is Strange True Colors are coming to Switch
Great.
on September 10th.
Hey, thanks.
That's okay. But hey, there were some big cool things too. We got Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania is coming to not only Nintendo, which was very, very interesting. I'm very excited about it. I love a Super Monkey Ball game. And one of the things we were both very excited about
Well,
was
but we want to say that Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania is not a new Super Monkey Ball. It's 1, 2,
and
Banana Blitz, I think.
yeah, it's a remaster collection.
It's a remastered collection. They announced it like it was a Nintendo only thing, but the PlayStation blog talked about it today, so it's coming to everything. I love a Super Monkey Ball.
I also love a Super Monkey Ball, and something else that we both love. It's a little bit niche, and I wasn't expecting us to get was a WarioWare game.
Ooh, baby!
I love WarioWare with every ounce of my being. We talk about it all the time, and we are probably one of 4 people in the world who do still talk about WarioWare.
Me, you, my little sister, Scott the Waz. That's
There we
it.
go.
But it looks great. It's called WarioWare Get It Together. Which makes me wonder if there are going to be a lot of, you know... Yeah, it says 2 players can now go wild in the micro game Mayhem. So this is a 2-player co-op or 2-player versus.
I'm very excited. Something wild just happened.
Very excited.
There's actually a little more information around WarioWare. There are a bunch of themed games in it after other games, and I wanted to go through the list a little bit.
Oh,
but
yeah. WarioWare classically will like borrow from old Nintendo games and make like little mini versions of them.
So they gave us 11 minutes of gameplay during the Treehouse, which I have not actually watched. But at least one micro game will be based on the Tea Party portions in Fire Emblem, while others will be based on Splatoon, Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Ice Climber will also be referenced in there.
Love that.
Past Wario games have referenced things like F-Zero and Duck Hunt. The Nintendo Treehouse was like a little... They didn't show a lot. They were cautious,
The
as
thing about
always.
because the thing about a WarioWare game is the moment you see it once, the joke is kind of ruined. And kind of the whole fun of WarioWare is seeing the game for the first time and figuring out what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So I kind of appreciate that. They did that with Metroid Dread as well, where they were showing off a bunch of stuff, and they were like, you know what, we're not going to do anymore, or you know what, we're actually going to, we're not going to show the screen during this portion, because there was like Adam, like Samus's computer, named after her one true love and commanding officer. I hope he'll kiss her. Metroid, Other M, such a bad game. Adam, her computer, was telling her something about the world she was on, and they were like, no lore drops today.
Yeah.
Treehouse is pretty good about that.
We got Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yep. Love that. We got a Danganronpa collection as well.
Decadence, which just makes me think of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Danganronpa lounging on a silk sheet, eating a chocolate covered strawberry. Oh, it's me, Danganronpa.
On a fainting couch. That bundle has Trigger Happy Havoc, Danganronpa, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, and Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony.
As well as the Danganronpa Summer, the Danganronpa S board game, which I'm very excited. It's one of those Japanese style dating party game board games.
Yeah.
But for Danganronpa, which I think is amazing.
Cute. One of the last big announcements was Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah.
We're getting a big ol' update to the Switch Mario Party, which was underwhelming initially. It didn't have enough maps, it didn't have enough mini games, and we got my favorite board, Peach's birthday cake.
So this is going to be a collection of, I believe it is 5 game boards and 100 mini games from the N64 era of Mario Party. All 100 games will be available for online play, so that's exciting. This was an underwhelming release that Nintendo has over the last year turned into something that's really worthwhile. So now that you get, hey, listen. Now that it's a lawless wasteland out there and nobody has to worry about anything, go over to your friend's house and play some Mario Party.
Well, don't do it until October 29th because it's going to be a while until we get these.
Okay. That's fine then. We got a new Fatal Frame. A big one for a lot of people was Advance Wars 1 and 2 is getting a total remake for the Switch. It's called Reboot Camp. Very funny. Very excited for that. That's December 3rd on the Switch. Happy birthday, Advance Wars.
On my birthday?
Can you believe it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really your fave.
It's not really my game. I just like my birthday being mentioned. Shh.
That's Nintendo's lawyers. We got to stop talking about Nintendo. And also, we did it. We got it. I'm willing to admit that I was wrong.
Anthony.
The Nintendo Switch Pro. Can you believe it? Here it is, in all its glory. Bloomberg got the size of the screen a little bit wrong. It was supposed to be a 7-inch OLED screen. That looks a little bit smaller, but very, very excited about this. We don't have a price yet, but look, you can tell it's fully backwards compatible with The Legend of Zelda.
Unacceptable.
Are you going to upgrade? I know. Are you going to upgrade to the Switch Pro?
No, Anthony, I'm not going to upgrade to this Switch Pro.
Okay.
Anthony has been shitting on the Switch Pro.
I'm not shitting on the Switch Pro.
He doesn't
There's
think it exists.
nothing to shit on. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. This is the Zelda Game & Watch. It plays Zelda 2, and Link's Awakening. Yeah, there's not a Switch Pro yet, but I mean, like, listen, if we keep saying that infinitely,
yes,
there will be a new
will be one.
because there's gonna be a new Nintendo console at some point. Like,
yes, true.
a new Nintendo console is coming.
Oh no, it's not showing up. I uploaded the new emote. Oh, there it is. It is on Streamlabs, but not. So it might be showing up for some people and not others.
Oh, the spreadsheet. Oh no. This Zelda Game & Watch is fine. I feel like they're not. I feel like they're not respecting my baby boy's 35th birthday.
Agreed. Yes, definitely. And I was thinking about it too after the fact. Somebody was like, "Yeah, well, with the pandemic, if they feel like they missed it, what about celebrating next year?" I'm like, "But they did Mario's because it's the same anniversary."
Mm-hmm.
So if they could do Mario's they could do it for Zelda.
The only thing they weren't able to do for Mario that they wanted to do this year was the Super Nintendo Land theme park openings in a big way. That's what they wanted to do for Mario's 35th. I just, and we'll talk about this too. There were some big things that were missing from everyone's showcase in E3 that we thought were coming. I, in particular, really thought that those Grezzo HD remakes of Ocarina of Time and Majora were certainly coming. I thought perhaps we were going to be getting the Oracle games using the new Link's Awakening engine.
We would have loved that.
Would have loved that. That did not happen.
Nope.
So there were some things that were missing. Certainly, we thought we would get any news on Prime 4. We did not.
Nothing.
But we did get a new Metroid game, so we're okay. But where was, I mean, I guess they didn't talk about Pokemon because it's so soon.
It is so soon, and I think we've seen everything that we're going to get on it without it being spoilery.
I guess. I would have loved to have seen just a chunk of gameplay from Arceus.
I would have loved to as well. I agree. I think they could have at least put it in the treehouse.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't.
Like, I'm shocked that we didn't see any gameplay from Arceus. I mean, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
We know what that gameplay looks like.
We know, but I mean,
played it.
It's still kind of neat to see the new engine. Although I think they're facing a little bit of. Some people are not so happy with the way that new engine looks with the super chibi overworld.
I'm into it.
I'm into it as well.
I'm super into it. Also, though, I will say, like, I have a bias on Pokemon. I do.
What is that bias?
It is hard to make me dislike something in the Pokemon universe.
Sure.
I'm going to give those games a lot of leeway because I fucking love Pokemon. It's the same, like, leeway that I apply to Star Wars, where it's just like, I'm prepared to like this thing.
I'm a fan of this.
Until you really make me go another direction, I like it. Like, I am not easily dissuaded.
I'm a fan of this. There's so much of it out, and I like so much of it that I have no reason to think that I wouldn't like it.
Right. Like, sure. I think there are times where if another game did the same thing as Pokemon, I would be like, whoa, don't do that.
But also an Eevee is there.
Right. What most importantly is a Psyduck is there.
A Psyduck. Ooh.
I love a Psyduck. I love a Mimikyu.
Would love it.
We do love to see it. We would have loved to see it, but nothing at E3 for Pokemon. What are you doing?
I'm going to help you out.
What are you going to do?
I'm just going to help you out. It looks like you were trying to do something more like
Oh, no, that's past me now.
Yeah, but then we can do this.
I guess.
Yeah, and then
yeah.
you just look like you're leaning.
Yeah.
You just
you're right.
You just looked like you were leaning.
It's actually the camera framing that's the problem, but we're fine.
I did it this morning. It's not great.
That's okay. Looking through what else was kind of missing at E3, we talked about the fact that they have just moved on from Deathloop.
Oh yeah.
Nothing from Deathloop.
As the last multi-platform game that we will see from Arcane, they did not talk a lot about Deathloop.
Nothing.
And I'm hoping that's just a business decision of Bethesda and Arcane just being like, hey, we don't hype up that multi-platform shit anymore. We did it. Let's move on to the things that we're doing now for Xbox and PC because that's where our business future lies. And I'm hoping it's that and not that Deathloop is still having some problems and is going to slide again.
I think it's just that they're on to Redfall.
I think so too.
That's it.
I think so too.
It's all about Redfall now.
I think it's just too close to release. But
another thing that we didn't see was Splatoon.
Where are my good inklings?
I can't believe it. Okay, that initial trailer for Splatoon that they did was excellent.
Yeah.
I think that was an incredible announcement trailer. It was one of my favorites I've seen in a hot minute. I just think that they really, really, as someone who likes Splatoon but isn't like you about Splatoon.
Yeah.
That's
a very polite way of saying I'm obsessed with Splatoon.
I was immediately in. I think it was an excellent trailer. Show us a little gameplay.
Give us a little bit of that Splatoon.
Just a little something as a treat. We've been out, very good.
Come out in your little lab coat with your cute little props.
Oh my God.
And tell us more about Splatoon, you adorable man.
Just a little bit.
But there was nothing.
Nothing.
Does Beyond Good and Evil 2 really exist?
Hey, did you make the game?
They didn't make the game. Beyond Good and Evil 2 doesn't exist.
You know, and we didn't talk about a lot of the Ubisoft stuff because they're Ubisoft, and so we will say though that nothing about Beyond Good and Evil was in the Ubisoft show.
Apologies to all my friends who work at Ubisoft and are trying to make it better from the inside. I know it's an uphill struggle for you, and I appreciate all the work you're doing.
I've been at those companies. Past tense. Because it's impossible, because the entire world is crushingly oppressive and trying to prevent you from doing any kind of good within these companies that are just structures of ages and ages of old white men. Anyways, some
No
of the other
Bayonetta
things.
3.
Yeah, we didn't see Bayonetta 3. We didn't see anything about Avowed.
We saw in the Square. Here's the thing: in the Square showcase, we got Final Fantasy Old Navy shopping simulators, and we did not get any new clips of Final Fantasy 16. We did not get any clips of Forspoken, Project Athia. Like, we didn't get any of that.
Oh, Fable wasn't on there. For some reason, I thought that one of the roundups had Fable on it, but I guess they didn't say anything about Fable.
They said nothing about Fable,
which is such a bummer.
Everybody was.
Give me
I saw.
Fable.
I
Give
saw
it
a
to
lot
me.
of people
Let me have it.
thinking that Fable was going to be like the one last thing
Yeah.
instead of Redfall. I think they were like, well, we're working on something else. And like, nah. I'm actually
Hey,
happier that it
Bethesda.
was Redfall.
Are you not
Redfall
looking
looks
forward
really
to
good.
Fable?
Listen, I've had my heart broken by the Fable series multiple times. I do enjoy Fable, but the thing is, I'm the oldest man on the internet.
Of course.
And because of the age difference between the two of us, I remember the intense marketing before Fable 1 and 2 that were all like, plant a tree and when you come back it will have grown there, or if you scar a child when he is a child, you'll come back to the village 20 years later and that he will have been training every day to face you again. Everything you do in the world will affect everything else in the world. And I was young enough and optimistic enough to be excited about it. And then Fable came out and it was kind of an unfinished Zelda for the Xbox. And it's fine. It's fine. I learned a lesson about hype that day.
The little bit we've seen looks really good.
It looks good.
I'm
looks
excited
good
about it.
And having a good studio, not that Lionhead wasn't a good studio. I think Lionhead was just laboring under the weird fever dreams of a despotic god king. But I think that, a really good studio working on a Fable that is very ambitious and meets everything it says it's going to do, because the technology's there to make a game like Fable now.
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I would too.
But
You know what I want to talk about?
what do you want to talk about?
Something that happened while E3 was happening. Sneakily.
Oh, okay.
Cyberpunk 2077. The game we just can't stop talking about. It gives us that reaction.
You know what it's like? It's like when you have a favorite snack too much and it starts making you a little sick every time you eat it.
Yeah.
I just can't talk about Cyberpunk anymore.
I get it. And yet, here we go. Cyberpunk reappeared on the PlayStation Store. It is not currently available for purchase, only to wish list, but it wasn't available for that up to this point. We've had so many conversations about when we think it would come back. Our last speculation was that it is not coming back to the PlayStation Store until CD Projekt Red has another game to push, and then they put it out for almost free to cheap. But it might be sneaking back in, and they did it during E3, so nobody would notice. All these other games happening will just sneakily put Cyberpunk 2077 back on the store.
Can I tell you something?
Tell me something.
I think that is hilarious and wonderful. And I think it is very much sort of, obviously it was sort of Sony's MO all during E3. Obviously Sony doesn't participate in E3 because the second I stopped hosting their E3 shows, it broke their hearts so badly they vowed that they would never come back and do an E3.
Yes, that's
And I
correct.
understand that. I'm pretty wonderful. But they were doing that thing that Sony does, where a big game would be announced during a showcase, and the Sony blog would quietly put out a trailer and be like, also coming to PlayStation.
Yep.
It'd be like, here's this game, this big game's coming, and they'd be like, also coming to PlayStation. And just like, hey, we don't need to be at E3,
We don't have to do all that.
but also coming to PlayStation.
I don't know if you're into that sort of thing. Yeah, if you like that game, I mean, we'll have it. Shook the whole desk for that bit.
I think it was worth it. That's the kind of magic that I bring to hosting everything, whether it is this show or PlayStation's E3 conference.
And if Anthony stops doing this show, I will vow to never be up at 8 a.m. again.
That's fair. That's
Yeah, right?
fair.
Honestly.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, can I talk about something else that happened during E3 that snuck out?
Yeah.
Our lovely friends at Finji. Friends of the show, a couple dear friends of mine, Rebecca and Adam Saltzman. You may know them as the publishers of such games as Night in the Woods or Overland. Adam was one of the first big kind of indie game developers. He made Cannibalt for the iPhone. Lovely people. They mostly focus on publishing now. And during E3, they had the audacity. They had the gall. They had the nerve, Saige, to release a video game. Not hype a video game. Release a video game.
Did they?
They put out a game called Chicory.
Oh, interesting.
A little chicory game.
Well, do we have something about...
Well, this is why I love Rebecca, and this is why I love Bex and Adam. Because they sent a little gift to us.
They did. I'm gonna pull up
And they
some
were
stuff
like,
about the game.
we're just gonna send you a little something to, like a press kit sort of thing. And I was like, oh, okay. Except it showed up like this. It's a beautiful little gift box.
So cute.
So
And we haven't opened it, so let's...
Yeah, do you want to show off those screenshots that you got up? Let's.
I was just showing them.
Oh, okay,
while you
cool.
were getting the box.
Great, I love it.
Yeah.
This is this cute little game where you're a dog that's got to paint color into the world.
I love this. I want to play it very, very bad.
Do you want to pull the bow? Let's see what sort of little presents they sent. We love little presents.
Oh, how sweet.
Oh,
A little card?
little card. Hi, this little gift box is a thank you for checking out our game Chicory. We're really proud of it. Inside, you will find hand-picked watercolor paints and brushes, so you can enjoy a relaxing painterly moment after a hectic day. You'll also find a game key and a few other pleasant surprises. We hope you have fun. Greg, Alexis, Lena, M, and Madeline.
Hard to show on camera. All right, Anthony. My pin.
Ooh, the Finji pin.
Look at... Okay, this is the game code. Secret.
Secret.
Oh, another pin.
Oh. Are you ready for what this says?
No.
Are you ready for this? So it's a little card of
Yes.
art, and then it says local donation. As a thank you for playing our game, we've donated some money to Mrs. Holt at Prairie Ridge Elementary School to spend on art supplies for their class.
I can feel that my face is doing an emoji.
My mother, I don't know if y'all know this. I've mentioned it before. I used to be a teacher. I was a preschool teacher. I come from a family of teachers and educators, and my mother, up until her retirement last year, spent so much of her own teacher's salary on supplies for the kids. I think this is very,
Should we open
very
this up?
sweet. Yeah, open it up. Oh, you find a lost kid is what this says. And it's a little pink kitten. I believe this will be the Saige pin of the two.
You're right. Me, a little pink kitten.
A little pink kitten pin.
Little like water activated paints.
Oh, they're the nice watercolors.
Nice
That's
little
very sweet.
watercolors. How sweet.
And
And
they
then this one.
Oh, and they sent us blank postcards that we can paint on and send to people.
Hey, maybe we should send some of these to patrons.
Yeah, maybe patrons
Yeah?
will get a little watercolor card this month.
Yeah. And then 2 little watercolors to just do.
Aw, that are just little areas from Chicory that you can paint just like you do in the game.
This is good and we like it.
Oh, thank you so much to Finji for sending this. I think Flannel Fries asked in the live studio audience, and I do believe this is our first official It's Too Early press kit. I don't think we've ever gotten a press kit as It's Too Early before.
We haven't.
Look at us.
Congratulations, us.
Look at us. And I do think we should. Do you want to toot the horn or should I toot the horn for you?
What?
Toot the horn. What?
Oh, well, somebody pointed out in chat, but as of this morning, we broke 5K on Twitch.
We have 5,000 little BBs following.
This channel is less than a year old, and that's absolutely unbelievable. So thank you all for supporting us. We appreciate it very much. Thank you for showing up for the shows. Y'all are absolute delights. Caitlin Rohr, thank you for dropping those subs to support the community. We appreciate you very much. If you watch it live, if you catch it later on VOD or on YouTube, thank you. We
Yeah.
appreciate you. And some changes are coming to the show very soon, but only very good ones.
Yeah, we're both leaving.
Dagger will host the show, and that's why I
Dagger?
say it's a good change.
It's a good one.
Neither of us are going anywhere. We wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah,
course
we're
not.
just gonna lounge on the couch while Dagger hosts.
Yeah, we wouldn't leave you, BB.
It's his turn now.
Stamps and T-Rex, thank you. But we are going to be making just like some cool upgrades to the show.
Yeah.
So many people have showed up and spent their mornings with us that we want to keep making the show better. So thank you. We can because of you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
We're gonna take hosting lessons.
I'm going to get on ADHD medication.
We're gonna be living the dream. We're gonna be living the dream. I just doubled my dosage on one of my medications, so you know we're making improvements to the show.
Self-care is show care. Something like that.
That was so sweet of Finji to send that to us.
That
Thank
is
you
so
very
sweet.
much.
We appreciate that very, very much.
Chicory is out now. I believe it is out on Steam and PS4 and 5. So please go check it out. It is very, very lovely.
It is $20 on Steam, $19.99 specifically. Another person that did. I want to talk some more about yesterday because yesterday is the day of E3 that we haven't really talked about yet.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because ain't shit happened. In the morning, we did have the Nintendo Direct, which we did live react to.
Yeah.
Capcom did their own Direct.
This is the first year they've ever done it. And so we thought,
That must mean they got some big shit to talk about, doesn't it? If Capcom's doing their own Direct.
something big must be happening.
The answer is no.
Mega Man Legends 3 is finally coming.
No, there was like essentially nothing new. The only what I would call new thing was they announced that they are working on Resident Evil Village DLC. Thanks. Like I love Resident Evil Village. That's awesome. They gave us a DLC trailer.
That was really just a teaser announce it's coming trailer.
Yes. It's a 30 seconds of weird baby's face and house.
I want the Resident Evil DLC to be a weird baby riding simulator. Giant demon baby riding simulator.
You ride the giant baby?
Yeah, giant demon baby racing. Like chocobo racing.
You know what I would like it to be?
What would you like it to be?
Have you ever seen me play the game Who's Your Daddy? I've told you about it, I'm sure.
Yes.
I think it would be Who's Your Daddy in Lady D's mansion. Blush. I want to see it be Who's Your Daddy in the Dimitrescu manor.
I love that.
That's what I want for
100% love
DLC. But no, instead we got nothing. We also got information that Resident Evil Reverse is launching in July. Bless you. Not
Great.
even over there. That's fine.
That's that
something
multiplayer shooter.
We've had an eye on it. It got delayed. It is coming in July.
It's coming.
That's okay. That's
coming.
fine. Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. We got another trailer for. We got an E3 trailer for that and a launch date of July 9th.
Great.
Again,
Love
we
Monster Hunter
already knew was
Stories.
coming. Perfectly fine. Monster Hunter Rise. We got like just an update trailer.
Yeah, which like their updates are usually pretty big. So when they make an announcement for an update, like they usually come with like a name or something though, and I guess they're pretty early into the development of it. I don't know. It was, you know what? Here's what I'll say, and here's what I like about this. Capcom was using a year that is clearly for a lot of people a rebuilding year. We talked about this, I think yesterday, where we're like, hey, it's easy on a year like this to be a publisher or a platform holder because you can show off 30 different games.
Right.
It's tough to be a developer right
Yes.
now. So I think what Capcom was doing was taking a year when they knew people were not going to expect much and kicking the tires on doing their own event. What does that look like? How do we edit it in-house? How do we put this together? What's the workflow like? Because these things, even though they're like little 10-minute videos, to make them work internally and produce them yourself when you don't have that structure in place is a huge undertaking.
Sure. Yes.
Does it mean that it was a super underwhelming show for us?
Very much so. I think it was very disappointing. We also got the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, a little gameplay overview, but nothing in this show was new. There is not a single thing that we did not know was coming. There was no fighting games. There was no announcements whatsoever. They could have done any of this during Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, they talked a little bit about Street Fighter V like competitive play and the competitive scene, but they didn't say anything about any updates or anything like that. It was really them testing, like they were clearly testing how do we make our own Nintendo Direct, which like a lot of people are trying to do now, because I think Nintendo and Devolver, as far as like big platform holder and indie, were the two publishers that were like, we know we're going to show you how to do this. We don't need your big event. We're going to show. And so everybody's like, oh, should we all be doing this?
The answer is no. Not everyone should be doing it.
I
don't think so personally. That's my take on it. Is I don't think
not everybody needs to.
I don't think everybody needs to.
And certainly not around E3. And you can tell that they were having problems with it based on the pacing. When you talk about that Ace Attorney, they showed like a lot of just text in Ace Attorney, like just unvoice acted text convos, which are interesting when you're playing the game.
Visual novel.
Yeah, they were like, here's 4 minutes of a visual novel, uninterrupted, with no context.
It's like they sat down with a book and they just opened the pages and stared into the screen and then waited an appropriate amount of time and turned the page for you.
It's literally they took this year to learn. They're going to take their knocks for it, and they have been taking their knocks for it. A lot of people have been like, what was that? And hopefully their internal video team is now in place, and they come back next year or later this year with their own Capcom like direct style event, and it gets better.
I hope so too. I hope they actually have some things to announce next time. That one was definitely underwhelming. It was a little disappointing. And honestly, day 3, it feels like it very much fizzled out. We got our big news on day 1, day 2, and they were big. It's interesting for me too. This is my first real E3 because previously they were all in-person events and I had never been to an E3. So having it be virtual was my first time having this level of accessibility to E3. Which was really interesting. So I'm sure that if I had been to previous E3s, I wouldn't feel like this is so fucking dope. But I feel like this was so fucking dope.
It was so funny. Saige is on the press list for the first time this year.
Yeah.
And she was getting like all the press updates and stuff. And she's like, I'm part of E3. Like E3 is happening. It's great.
I love it.
I think what's interesting is like when you look at day 3 fizzling out, there's a reason for it, and the reason is rooted in the physical E3, which is all the big platform holders and all the big announcements are top-loaded, right? They happen literally a day or two before the real event starts.
Yeah.
And the reason that happens is so you can set all of your appointments and make sure you have the right people covering the right things. And if somebody wasn't on your list, maybe they're on your list now and you can try to get some time with them. Day 3, you're supposed to be finishing up all of those appointments that you made on the first couple days.
Right.
The show floor is open, but there's nothing new going on, really.
Yes.
People are getting flights home.
Right. You're getting to see things you might have missed.
Yeah.
You get to go back and check it out.
But, like, when you're doing an all-digital event, it's like, so nothing today? All right. Good night.
Yep. And that is kind of how yesterday felt.
They did their indie showcase yesterday, but I've got to say the E3 indie showcase, the official E3 indie showcase, was only 20 minutes long. Didn't really show off a lot of new stuff that we didn't know about. Was kind of E3's first official nod towards indie.
Which we do celebrate and appreciate. Hell yeah, more acknowledgement for indie games.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have things like the Guerrilla Collective, Part 1 and Part 2, and you had the Wholesome Direct, it really does just
Well, yeah.
raise the bar for what an indie showcase can look like.
And this is the tricky thing, right? Because E3 for years has been this physical event. They rent the hall, you do your thing.
Yeah.
Right? And now they're trying to figure out what they are.
Yeah.
And they've never had to cater so much to these different... It didn't matter in years previous whether... you know, there was a Guerrilla Collective, right?
Yeah.
Because Guerrilla Collective would probably be happening on your official stream in your convention center, and you would be getting a cut of it, right? Whereas, like, now that events, even after this year, more and more events are going to go digital. E3 is a shambling dinosaur that is walking towards its own tar pit. Like, and that has nothing to do with E3. It's just the market is changing. Everybody doesn't need to get together in one place anymore, particularly press.
I want to, though, please. I miss everybody.
Don't worry. You're going to get to go to 2 or 3 at least. You're going to get to go to 2 or 3
I
at
want to
least.
so bad. Please let me in.
But the problem is now that everything is going digital, Guerrilla Collective popping up and becoming their own thing is a problem for E3 because that's programming that E3 now does not control.
Yeah.
They don't have the biggest indie show at E3. E3 doesn't have the biggest indie show at E3.
Sure don't.
And now they're scrambling to sort of catch up. That's why they were doing those things with Keighley previously, like the Coliseum.
Right.
They're trying to figure out how do we become content providers and not just a space to rent a booth. Mm-hmm. It's tricky.
It is very interesting. And it'll be interesting to see next year. In theory, at an in-person show. Here's hoping.
Here's hoping. Anything else that we wanted to highlight that we hadn't highlighted previously? I feel like
I
there was
have a
some
couple
good
of like
stuff.
weird pieces of news that came out actually outside of E3. Like there's something that was sneaking by for me.
Is it about Batman?
No, you want to talk about that?
Is it about Batman?
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Hey, everybody. I think I talked about this on my stream on Monday night because that was the day it happened. There was a little news story about Batman this week.
Joe Otterson over at Variety was talking about, was interviewing the Harley Quinn creative team.
And the Harley Quinn creative team was speaking to how wonderful it is to work with villains as their characters because they're much more flexible. They don't have a reputation to uphold in the way that heroes do or an expectation. They said it's gratifying and freeing to be using characters that are considered villains. You have so much more leeway. A perfect example of this is that in the 3rd season of Harley Quinn, we had a moment where Batman was going down on Catwoman, and DC was like, you can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that. Heroes don't do that.
You heard it. You heard it here first.
The Harley Quinn team replied, so are you saying that heroes are selfish lovers? And they said, no, it's just that we sell consumer toys for heroes. It's hard to sell a toy of Batman if Batman is also going down on someone. So what
that's
we
one
found
more
out by this.
That's one more variant Batman action figure you can sell, as a matter of fact. That's one more Batman action figure that you could listen. What you got a karate chop? You got a karate chop Batman? Great. You got a helicopter backpack Batman?
Now,
great.
Batman sex scenes have happened before. I believe it was in The Killing Joke.
They added a sex scene.
They added a sex scene in the adaptation.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a decently graphic one. Like it was sex. So all they have confirmed here is that Batman is canonically bad in bed.
And here's the thing. The internet immediately started talking about this and like, how dare you, Batman? And like Saige and I immediately like texted each other. We're like, oh yeah, Batman's never gone down on a woman in his life.
No, Batman seems like he would be bad in bed. There are a lot of people who made a lot of jokes. They were like, you're with a woman named Catwoman and you have a mask that covers everything but your face, and that's what you don't do? Okay.
All right.
Sure, that's where you
Seems
draw the line.
weird.
Sure thing, man.
Seems weird.
But no, I agree. We think Batman punches walls in the bedroom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he gets frustrated and he punches walls in the bedroom.
Right.
He cries a lot. And like, here's the thing. This is a man who decided to build a car and a motorcycle and a boat and an airplane shaped like a bat so he could punch people over his parents dying instead of going to therapy. He's not good in bed. He's not. He's like one of those dudes. He's one of those dudes that you meet that has learned everything in his life off of YouTube. And he's like, I can pick locks and I can, and I know how to do this and I know how to do that. And it's all these weird little skills that nobody needs. And you're just like, you're lonely.
You're lonely, man.
You're lonely, dude. And that's fine. That's fine.
Death and Saints in the live studio audience said, I think that if it were the other way around, they would have kept it. And I agree. I think most
for
likely.
sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. If it was a joke about Catwoman going down on Batman, they would have been like, great.
Yep. Would have been perfectly
Hilarious. Batman gets... Everybody's trying to give Batman head.
We have confirmed that Batman is the DJ Khaled of the DC universe. That's the news, baby. And that happened during E3. Another thing that happened during E3, which I found so odd, is that Disney has greenlit a Beauty and the Beast television show for Disney Plus. Did you know this was happening?
Now, is this the show that we had heard about previously that is the Gaston show?
So it is a limited series. It will be a musical and act as a prequel to the movie.
Okay.
They have not announced Emma Watson's involvement or Dan Stevens, who of course played Beauty and the Beast. They said there is Gaston.
Yeah. I think this
Josh
is
Gad and Luke Evans will reprise their roles as LeFou and Gaston, but it doesn't necessarily specify here that it's centered around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, after they had out an adventure with Tilly.
Yeah, Josh Gad had talked about this previously. I think it was about a year ago, where they were talking about working on a Gaston and LeFou series, like limited series.
Now,
or a prequel film, I think it was supposed to be at the time.
I'm here for LeFou. I am aggressively not here for Gaston. I don't want a Gaston prequel.
No.
You're going to tell me that you give me... Okay, let's talk about this. In media, one thing that we have, though poor representation within, that consistently has female leads, are these Disney films.
Yeah.
And you looked at The Beauty and the Beast and said... prequel about the douchey toxic masculinity guy who's maybe in some way friends with a queer character.
I think
they vaguely will confirm.
I think from the Disney perspective, now we know Disney loves Josh Gad. Disney loves Josh Gad. Disney loves Josh Gad characters. I think this is sort of like a thing that probably Josh Gad sort of like pitched, and they love him, and they're like, yeah, we love you, we love this character, like maybe there's a way to make this work. I don't think it's a good idea.
Hey, network, try loving women.
Yeah.
I recommend it. That'd be cool. If it was a LeFou series, I would be like, okay, this was Disney's first confirmed queer character, and we're getting a story about it, but like, come on.
Do you know
You're
why?
You're going to give us a story about a fucking douchebag white man from the Beauty and the Beast world? Come on.
Do you know why I specifically
Non-magical
dislike...
strongman? Piss off.
Do you know why I specifically dislike that it's Gaston? I mean, all the reasons that you just said, but because of all the reasons that you just said, you know they're going to try to Cruella this, where Gaston is a nice boy. He's a nice guy, and something happens to make Gaston a meanie. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know they're going to have to do that. They want to show you why Gaston turns into what he is.
Is because it's a prequel and he's a piece of shit in the movie.
Yeah.
They can't make it a story of him getting humbled, which it could have been.
No.
That could have been interesting. It could have been him going out on an adventure with LeFou and experiencing his own and
be a
finding his
sequel.
own humility.
It should be a sequel.
And even then, I would be like, that's not the story we need to be telling.
Why did I lose Belle? Like,
Right.
what happened? What's so bad about me? And then LeFou tries to help him, but LeFou also, does like a LeFou arc where he realizes, like, dude, I should not be friends with this guy. Like all this stuff should happen. That's a great story. A prequel where we're going to watch Cruella's parents get ripped apart by Dalmatians. It's real. It's canon. They did that. I just don't
watch it.
I just don't need it. I didn't watch it either, but so many people were posting the scene of Cruella's parents getting like attacked by Dalmatians when she was a kid, and I was just like, why would that be the story? Like, why would that be the story? Why would that be the story?
Now, we don't know that this is going to be a story that paints him in a positive light. I just can't imagine why, of all things in this universe, in this like Disney princess universe, we're getting a Gaston story. Fucking hell. If you're giving us a prequel to Beauty and the Beast, show us more about the Beast, motherfucker. If you're going to give us another fucking white man story, at least give us one that has a curse.
I feel like...
At least show us a white man getting cursed.
I feel like Dan Stevens, number one, and Emma Watson. Dan Stevens and Emma Watson probably weren't going to come back for it.
But Emma Watson wouldn't have to.
Right.
And if they did a prequel, they could have cast a younger person.
Sure.
To play Beast.
I think they could have done it. I don't know why. I think just they want to keep those characters kind of where they are for some reason. It's very strange.
Don't make it. It's okay to
It's
not
okay
make.
to not do the thing. It's okay to not do the thing.
Anyways, I found that annoying. I'm just like, if we're gonna get a musical, we're gonna like. I was excited when I clicked on that headline. I was like, oh shit, a musical, Disney Plus, Beauty and the Beast story. Fuck yeah.
And why also when musical things happen, do they give like? It seems like they give a lot of musical stuff to just like dudes who love musicals and not actual like musical writers and performers. Like if Ben Schwartz wants to sing something, people will give Ben Schwartz millions of dollars to just show up and sing something badly. Right. People will give Josh Gad like however much money to host something where he does a musical number and he can't sing.
And yet the Dear Evan Hansen movie was made on a budget of $25 and a pack of gum.
The Dear Evan Hansen, listen, you want to steal this look? You can make the Dear Evan Hansen with a Canon 70D and a kit lens and a light kit from Amazon Prime. It's from Cowboy Studios. It's really interesting. Some of these Disney Plus series seem so inspired and very good and wonderful, and then some of them just seem like your classic like direct to video never went away.
Right. I think you're absolutely right.
Some of them just seem like your standard Hollywood, like, this person still wants to work with us. They were in this. If we put this together, I can package it and sell it for $15 million. Okay, good.
Does Disney still make Disney Channel original movies?
That's a great question.
Or has Disney Plus been the death of Disney Channel original movies?
I do believe all of the larger things are going to Disney Plus. I mean, the Disney Plus, you'll get some of like the lower tier stuff, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Particularly like movie versions of current Disney Plus shows. They still do that stuff. But I think most of the originals go to Disney Plus.
Channel shows, yeah. Interesting. All right. Another thing.
Another thing?
Another one. Sony, with its sneaky little stuff that didn't want to participate in E3, but had a couple of things to say low-key on the blog.
I'm just going to say that Superman definitely goes down on Lois Lane.
It would be insane. Anyways, not to. It would be insane if not to. That would
be insane.
Up.
They're in a loving marriage.
Fucking Batman.
PSVR.
PSVR. Do you have one? Do you like it?
I do have one. I do like it. I haven't played it in a little while. They did just announce, during E3 and a week ago as well, before E3, a bunch of new stuff that's coming.
They did, and we've known for a while that PSVR 2 is coming, that you're going to be able to use the same controllers new headset. It's coming in at I believe we had a price point for it, right? Or were we
No price
estimating
point
the
yet.
price point? Okay.
No price point yet.
PSVR has always been a little spicy pricey
Yeah, Sony ain't cheap.
in comparison to when you think of an Oculus Quest 2. Now, we know a Quest 3 is coming. There's a little bit of a race here, right? Like, there has to be. PSVR would be stupid to not be trying to compete with the Oculus Quest 2 right now. But the update that we got is Sony will be releasing their VR successor in holiday period next year.
2022.
Holiday 2022. Now, that's a ways away.
That is definitely a ways away. And here's my thing that I worry about. Like you said, Sony does get spicy pricey.
They do.
You know, you're talking about a PSVR came out at like $400, you know? And you needed like to buy additional move wands and things like that. Now they're trying to compete with what's on the market now, but I hope they're trying to compete with what they thought was going to be on the market in 2 years, in 3 years.
Yeah.
Because if they're making something that is just going to compete with the Oculus 2 or the Quest 2,
Which they're so behind right now.
or if they're making something that's even going to, they hope, compete with what comes next, that means that the Quest 3 and the PSVR 2 will have similar internals,
Yep.
but the PSVR might be more expensive, and you're not going to buy a new PSVR every 2 years.
Nope.
They're only going to make one for the life of the console.
Right. A couple of interesting things about it. One, what you can play on PSVR is still deeply limited in comparison to the Oculus.
Yes.
There is a huge limitation. There is very, very little cross-play with things. You know, one of the things that we participate in a lot with our friends, ways we use our Quests, is some of our friends will have movie nights. You can't do any of that on your PSVR.
No, a lot of those apps are not out. A lot of the games are, but you know, they're taking a very Sony approach to it, where a lot of the games that are on PSVR are Sony exclusive, or at least timed exclusive for a long while. So
Right.
it's a small library, but it's a unique library.
It is, but there hasn't been anything that I have felt like I'm missing on PSVR. There hasn't been a single game that's come out on PSVR that I'm like, damn, I wish I had a PSVR.
That's fair.
Price point wise, the Quest 2 has made VR accessible for the first time ever.
We're talking $299.
We're talking $299. Not only is the Quest 2 less expensive, but like people can't get a hold of PS5s right now. So if you want the PSVR 2 or whatever they end up calling it, I think they were calling it like the PSVR Pro. In that scenario, you're gonna have to get your hands on a PS5.
Yeah, and I guess they're hoping
And
that by
you're gonna
holiday 2022, those shortages will be over, production problems will be fixed, and you'll be able to bundle it together, right?
Sure, but think of even if they were able to put the PSVR Pro at the same price as the Quest, it still is astronomically higher because you have to get a hold of a PS5.
Right, okay, but
There are other benefits to getting it. You might have it anyways.
The counter argument to that, though, is I'm not a PC gamer. I am somebody who is buying a PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 is where I do all my gaming. So it makes sense for me to buy the VR helmet that works with the one thing that I buy that plays games.
Sure. The thing is, the Quest by itself is an all-in-one console. The Quest you do not need a PC for.
That's fair.
It can upgrade your gaming experience, but for the first many months I had my Quest, I never plugged it into my PC.
Yeah.
And it is a great experience without it.
It really
genuinely.
is. It really is. I'm going to say, I will say that when the PSVR came out for a very, very, very long time, right up through the initial launch of the Quest 2 and for a little while longer, the PSVR was the top selling, the highest selling VR headset in the history of ever.
Right.
It was the biggest VR headset in history.
And it had made VR more accessible at the time, but the bar has been raised so high by this particular console that I don't think the PSVR Pro is for no one, but I think it is niche. I think it is a small circle of people, and I think that they would really, really need to cut down that price point.
And hopefully they will. You know, I'm sure they're seeing. You know, the other thing that we got to remember about the PSVR is when the first PSVR came out, if you wanted a decent VR experience, you were buying the Rift, or you were buying the Vive. You know, we're talking about like $700 headsets. So the fact that the PSVR came out at $400 was expensive, but undercut some of those bigger headsets. And so hopefully that will be their strategy here too. The other thing is, you know, people don't want to hook their lives into Facebook any more than they already do. And I think that's going to be a big thing.
I agree. But also, you can, for instance, make a Facebook account that has no personal information on it for free.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not personally someone who's willing to pay an additional potential $200 to $500, depending on whether or not you have a console. $200 to $700 in that scenario, to not have to make a free Facebook account. Like, look, we do not like Facebook. Facebook is a garbage company. We agree. Absolutely. Holy hell, Mr. Bulldops. My God, we'll get to that in just a second. But you can just make a free, like, they don't make any money off you. You don't log in. You don't use it. Facebook does not pop up at all when using the Quest.
But they are still obviously tracking every game you buy, tracking who you play your games with, tracking where you are. And some people don't like giving Facebook even that much information, and I understand it.
Sure.
I'm not one of those people. Like, I'm one of those people that looks at the sort of like the sort of society that we've built right now, and it's like everybody should choose their lines where they feel comfortable.
Yes.
But I'm looking at the amount of information that Facebook gets off of me when I play my Oculus or buy into my Oculus versus all the information everybody else gets from me.
Right, versus what Microsoft and Apple have.
But I also understand people not wanting to give any money to Facebook as a company.
Yes, that I understand.
Which, hey man, ask the people of fucking Myanmar how much they like it that we're giving Facebook money. I get it.
Right.
Like, I get it.
That I understand.
But I don't know. Everybody's got to do what they're comfortable with.
Yes.
Everybody's got to do what they're comfortable with.
I hope that PSVR puts it at an accessible price point, because you are getting a smaller library of games. Okay, now, Mr. Bulldops, thank you so much for that $100 donation. They said, "I love you guys. This show is essential viewing for my week." You sweet bean.
Wait until we get the new hosts.
My
You're going to
goodness.
really love it.
I will just say, right here in the middle of the show, real quick, we usually do this at the end, but thank you. We have hit our donation goal for this month. That goes to literally just supporting, like, Anthony and I being able to set this time aside and make the show. That is, you are supporting the two of us directly through those donations, and we appreciate it very, 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 very much. Thank you.
Yep. And we will, of course, go down the honor roll of everybody who has supported us during the show at the end here, as we always do. Boy, you'd think all the new games are done. You'd think, hey, we did it. We E3'd. All the new games are done. It's finished. But no, Saige, because you know what starts today?
What starts today?
Steam Next Fest.
I'm going to get the air on in here a little bit.
Yeah, get the air on in here a little bit. Try it out. See how it feels to have a little air in there.
Less hot. It's a heat wave in Los Angeles right now. If you can hear air conditioning, I apologize. But again, I say there's a fucking heat wave in Los Angeles right now.
It was the first 100-degree day of the year yesterday. Congratulations to all of us. The world is just
on
burning.
Fire.
It's just on fire. Steam Next Fest. Today through June 22nd, and it's going to be a lot of exciting demos that we haven't seen before, downloadable demos for a bunch of games. Also, developers are going to be using Steam's built-in streaming to show off their games and go through guided demos of their games. I normally, when I open up Steam and it opens up that currently streaming window, I get a little peeved because that's not what I'm there for.
Yeah.
But I like this use of it.
Yeah.
I like this use of it a lot.
I agree.
I love the look of this, Brock the Investigator, like a little beat 'em up, like all of these like cool. These are games that Leaf's Adventure, Netherworld Hero. These are games that
This looks interesting.
Sable. Some of them, you know, a lot of these developers, even though there are things like the Indie Showcase, like the Guerrilla Collective and stuff like that, a lot of these developers still can't afford to be part of those events.
Yeah.
And it's not that every event charges developers to be a part of them. Some of them do, some of them don't. But it's things like creating the press assets, cutting together a trailer that's good enough.
Yeah.
You know, all of this stuff is expensive. And when you're a small team just working on your game, you don't really have time to divert into that, even though it's very important. So something like NextFest here can be a very interesting way for a developer to show off a game to you that you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Agreed. And also, as someone who's worked in marketing for a long time, multiple clicks are the death of trying to get people to something. You might watch a trailer in an indie showcase and be like, wow, that looks awesome. But the likelihood of you going and searching that game on Steam diminishes greatly the more things you have to type or click. So it being directly on your Steam homepage and being able to click on the game and wishlist it, download it, play a demo of it right then and there is massive for these developers.
Oh, but
The
don't
click-through
worry,
rate is
Sage.
so much higher.
What you're talking about is Google Stadia. The new gaming platform from Google.
Yeah.
Do you have a Google Stadia? I have 3. I can lend you one.
I'm okay. Which, did you hear that Amazon's service opened up now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were in cloud beta, but I believe as of yesterday,
Was it Luna?
they opened up. Yeah, they opened up Luna to everybody.
Hey, Mazel Tov. You know, I'm keeping my eye on Steam Next Fest for sure.
Me too.
Something else that happened that sort of is like this, that I was really interested in. You know, Microsoft. We talked about how Microsoft had maybe the best E3 they've ever had. I think it was a very strong year for them. They're not so much in hit after hit after hit in terms of titles, but just in terms of messaging and platform and, oh shit, we've got everything coming, and for one price every month you can have it. I think they did a great job. But something that they did a really wonderful job with is if you've got one of those new mini fridges that plays video games. Not the mini fridges that holds actual drinks, but the one that plays the video games.
Also, not to be confused for the console that cooks chicken.
There are like 40 demos that are just timed demos of a bunch of the games that they showed off. Things like Sable, things like Somerville and things like that are having early tech demos.
Yeah.
And they say, they're like, hey, this is not like a regular demo where you download it and you play a part of the game and it's good and like you can keep it forever. They're like, this is sort of what, like, you're getting access for the first time to what game critics and journalists get. We get these 72-hour try them out. It's just a vertical slice. Some things are broken. Here's the list of what's broken. It's really wonderful. And you can play. Do you know what's on it?
What?
Tunic the Good Fox.
Ooh. Wait, was that the Sad Fox game?
No,
That was a
that's
Good Fox
Mama
game.
Fox trying to save foxes.
Yeah.
Tunic is Zelda with a fox boy.
Yes. That looks
Tunic
lovely.
is Zelda with a fox boy.
There were like 5 Fox games
Foxes
in
are
E3 this
so
year.
hot right now. So hot right now.
There was literally like 5 Fox games.
We're in the summer of kitsunes. We're in hot kitsune summer. Hot kit summer is where we are.
I'm into it.
But it's very exciting that Tunic is finally getting close to release. I've been looking for it forever.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to just, as we're wrapping up the show here today, I want to talk about just some of our favorite things that we saw at E3.
Sure.
You know, I want to make sure that we end on just the most positive note we can because damn, E3 reminds me how much I fucking love games.
Yeah.
And how much exciting stuff there is to look forward to. I made myself like a little list, and these were specifically from the Guerrilla Collective because those were some of my favorites. I should pull up some from the Wholesome as well.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, well, I'm going to start off. One of them that I'm really looking forward to that I wasn't expecting was Despot's game.
Which one was that?
Despot's game is where you have a little army of tiny, very cartoony humans in an automated battle simulator game. You're given
Yes.
makeshift weapons to attack creatures. You're weighing out the difficulty of a creature and how many tiny, puny humans that you might need. The trailer had a lot of good comedy in it.
This was the refrigerator game.
Yes, so you might give them a little refrigerator to fight with. You might give them a pretzel to fight with. It was very, very cute. when described, I feel like I have to clarify that it is very cartoony and not violent like this, with a little cutesy kind of 8-bit situation.
I love the guy that just pushes a coffin towards people and says, "Get in the coffin."
Yep. This looked really lovely to me. It's something I'm really looking forward to that I wasn't expecting. Y'all know that I haven't shut up about serial cleaners. I've made everybody listen to me talk about it since the Guerrilla Collective happened. Serial Cleaners is a game where you are playing a crime scene cleanup crew. Essentially, you go through 4 criminals and try and eliminate evidence at a crime scene while police and other people are raiding the crime scene. They have cone field of visions that you are trying to stay out of while cleaning up.
Love a visual cone in a fucking stealth game.
It just looked very, very satisfying. You sneaking around this house trying to like vacuum up shit. I don't know why, but it made my brain so happy.
I feel like you were one of those kids who went through a period where you wanted to be a crime scene cleaner, and that's why. And you looked up how you get into it, and you were like, "What does it take? What does it cost? What do you have to get? What do you have to get as far as licensing and things like that?" You were one of those people.
See, my future was decided for me when I was a toddler.
But you dreamed about it.
But I did think that would be interesting, or a mortician.
But you did dream about it.
Yeah. But then I realized I would cry every time.
Would you cry every time?
I would cry every time. Come to find out, much like my Dungeons and Dragons characters, I'm a little soft on the inside.
No.
I know.
Not you.
I know.
Not you.
Yes.
Saige?
I cry when people get hurt.
No.
Yes.
Saige Ryan does?
A little sensitive. One of the others that I wrote down here was Ramen. Ramen looked really fun.
Yes.
It was a cute game. It is a food battle game.
It's Splatoon.
It is. It's Splatoon. It looks like it would be fun to multiplayer. It looked like it would be fun to co-op with friends. It just looked like a damn good time. It was a cheerful, lovely game. And that's, Ramen, R-A-W-M-E-N.
Yeah.
Ramen.
They call it a slurp and derp battle simulator.
So you've got like kind of almost gang beasty physics a little bit. They're not quite as sticky, but they are a little kind of like jiggly boys. And they're cute. Team Meatball, look at them. That looks lovely. That just looks like a very, very fun game to play with friends. Kiwis.
Oh yeah, Kiwi. Keywe. This is a game about a bunch of Kiwis in New Zealand that work together in a small town to deliver the mail, and they have to work together because they have no arms or wings.
And they said, "Who needs wings when you have friends?"
And that's really all Saige needed to hear. That's really all she needed to say. The birds are Jeff and Deborah.
That looks delightful to me.
Jeff and Deborah have to help with the mail.
That was one I was really excited about. Another was Venice 2089.
Venice 2089 looks really good.
That one hit really, really nicely. You seem to be a reluctant hero in the time of great impacts of climate change in Venice.
And
Cute to think that won't be until 2089.
And it is a skating adventure game.
Yeah.
It's like a 2D skating / adventure game.
On your hoverboard.
Looks very good. I love the art style.
Mm-hmm. Another I was excited for, Trash Sailors. Trash Sailors looked really cute. Another fun game to co-op. Happy's Humble Burger Farm was one that you didn't seem to be very into, but I was intrigued by.
The Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's a restaurant.
Kind of, but it had a little more to it. Also, Five Nights at Freddy's had some news this week.
Oh my goodness. Hello, Scottrick.
Sucks to fucking suck.
Does it suck to suck, Scottrick? And does it suck to find out that everyone knows that you suck, Scottrick?
Yep. But it's a restaurant sim where you are trying to please terrifying monsters.
Yeah, it starts off as like a regular kind of Overcooked, like first-person-y thing, and then quickly turns into a horror game.
I just think that's fun. It's something I will play.
Oh yeah.
That's something I'm looking forward to. And on the non-indie side.
Oh wait, hold on, because I want to talk about some indies.
Okay, I figured we would just go down a list and then you would go down a list. Okay.
I would like to talk about some indies as well.
Ooh, Cat Cafe
I want to talk
Manager.
about We Are OFK, obviously, which we just got our first real look at. This is a series of games where you play as the band OFK, which is a band of virtual idols. They have a Twitch stream, they have a Twitch channel, they have a YouTube channel, and it's the story of how all the characters came together and made their album. Super huge. Very excited about it. Love the look of it. Love the overall tone. Some very, very talented people are involved with it. Also wanted to show off Lake.
Yeah.
Lake is a game where you are. It's 1986, and you are a big city career woman who decides to leave the hustle and bustle of the city and go back to your hometown to become a letter carrier. And in delivering everybody's mail, you basically get involved with their lives. Yeah. And maybe find love.
We hope they do.
There were two Hot Pot games.
There were two Hot Pot games. That's very true.
Hot Pot, for one, I think is the one that we were more interested in because it's
story element.
Yeah, you live alone. You're alone on Christmas in a foreign country. And you are just making yourself a hot pot, and you got to buy the ingredients and cook it and make it look lovely.
Something I think we both forgot about because so much happened this week was El Paso Elsewhere.
Ooh, yeah.
El Paso Elsewhere was one that we were both pretty excited for because it was big backrooms feelings. Again, by initial character art, by name, we were like, but essentially a bunch of like 30 new floors or 27 new floors appear underground in a hotel overnight, and you're just like fighting werewolves and shit.
Yeah.
In the back rooms.
It's really interesting. It's by the people that made an airport in space run by dogs, and so it's very weird and surreal. I do want to bring up the Saige game for Saiges.
This is not for me as a personality. This is me as a mentally ill person.
This is the Saige game for Sages.
This isn't just a Saige game for Sages. This is an OCD game for people with OCD.
So basically, this is called A Little to the Left, and it is just about putting things in order, and they click into place. And they just click into place. The end.
Lovely.
There were two games like this. There was another one where you're moving and unpacking.
Yeah.
That was also like that.
Yeah, I would say that was in a similar vein. This was one that you were pretty hype about.
Yeah. Fire Tonight is a game about a couple in 1990 where literally their city is on fire and they've got to find their way to each other. And it looks like it looks like he's at home and trying to like kind of help her get back, but
she's on roller skates.
But it's 1990 and there are no cell phones. And so it's like they don't know each other's status, but they're just trying to find each other in this night when the city is on fire. I love it.
It looks very sweet.
It looks very good. Very good.
It's a narrative puzzle game.
Lots of good indie stuff.
There was
Lots
so
of good
much good
indie stuff.
indie. It was such a good week for indie. It is a week that makes me feel excited and proud to be in games. I'm glad that we got an excuse to really dive into all of this. And this was more than I think any year that I've been to E3 was really a year where the indies were way more exciting. Agreed.
Overall than the AAA stuff. It's not that the AAA stuff was not exciting. It certainly was. But there was just way more interesting stuff going on with indies.
Yeah.
Some other ones, Kraken Academy is, of course, that time loop high school dating sim.
That did look fun. That's one I'll probably be playing on stream.
Where there are eldritch horrors taking over your high school, and you're in a time loop, and you have to stop them. And also probably kiss.
Love to.
Also probably kiss. You know. I think that's a big deal about it.
I think that the kissing is probably the biggest deal.
Yeah, there was just a lot of good stuff.
There's a lot of great stuff. Look forward to some awesome indies today. Be sure to jump on Steam. Go check out the Next Fest and let us know in the Discord if you have any games that you really enjoy from it. If you try out any demos, let us know what we should be trying out. We would love to hear about it. And hey, now that E3 is wrapping up, Also, we're back at it. So if you have some things that you want to hear us talk about, some things that we didn't cover from E3 this week, or other news, drop it in the Discord. Tell us what you want us to talk about.
Just drop it in there. We
Just
love
do
it.
it.
We do the show for you. We'd love to hear what you would like to hear about from us. And of course, the new hosts when they get here.
Of course. We will let you know when that is happening. And it might be Dagger.
It's probably going to be
more likely
Dagger.
than you think.
Want to give a shout out to everybody who gave us support during the show today.
It's true.
Mad Wolf 13 with the follow. Mr.
Uh-huh.
Bulldops 666 with that $100 donation. Thank you. Blue Pirate hosting us. The Mike Tricks with the subscription. Thank you very much. To the Extreme, thank you for the follow. Kurt Laurelton with the generous gift subs to 5 people. DeBerju, generous gift subs to 5 people. 54 Aquasnakes with the 500 bits. Cassidy Weaver with the 100 bits. Mfire114 with the follow. Grex13 with the 3-month resub. Thank you so much. Stamps1646 gift subbing to 5 people. Kalen Roar gift subbing to 10 people. Goodness. Accio Beast.
Woo!
Follow with the follow. Luke Newcomb with the follow. Lee Teriyaki with the follow. Suit Michael with the 2-month resub. Good morning, everyone. I hope you all have a great day, says Suit Michael. Thank you. You as well. Come on, my doodle baby. Thank you for the follow. Gilly Maya, D. Annie, Riffer TX. Thank you all for the follows. Thank you all for your generous support during the show. But hey. As much as we love this generous support, as much as we thank you for it, and we do, because it's wonderful, we understand money's fucking weird.
It is. And you know what? Showing up, watching the show, that is why we make it. It is not lost on me that you could be spending your mornings anywhere and you choose to spend it with us. So, first and foremost, that's the thing. But hey, if you want to go a little above and beyond, things you can do are make clips. And you can share them on social media.
Love that.
Even another step. It lets other people know that the show exists, and it helps us to keep doing it when people show up. Helps us to do things like, hey, maybe a company will want to sponsor us at some point. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
We just got 5 watercolor paints, so we're well on our way. Anything you can do, whether it is telling people about the show, retweeting when we go live, silly screenshots and GIFs, all of that stuff. Joining the Discord and encouraging others to join the Discord.
You right.
All this stuff is really wonderful and helps the show. We're growing, baby.
We're growing,
and it's all because of you. Thank you so much, you little
It's
BBs,
true.
you tiny little pickles.
You sweet little beans.
You tiny little
Of course, we'll have
beans.
something up on the Patreon on Friday, so look out for that. Y'all, did you know Abria is running our Patreon game this month? Those slots are full, but if we get a lot of requests, we will talk about making another.
Are you saying Critical Role Dungeon Master?
Abria
Iyengar is DMing our patron game this month?
She is. She's running a game of masks for everyone.
See, here's the thing. One of the things that happens when you support our Patreon at a specific level is once a month, one of us DMs a one-shot just for patrons.
Yep. That is a specific tier. It is currently sold out, but hey, if we have requests that people are wanting to get to that, we might be able to create another eventually, and that is something I am working towards personally because I would love to be able to include more people in it. Obviously, games are limited. We want a table that still feels special and personal, not too spread out. So let us know in the Discord if that's something you're interested in. And also, there's a bunch of other tiers to support and get cool extra content on the Patreon. You sweet beans. Hey, Anthony.
Hi, Saige.
Where else are you on the internet?
Oh, my stars and garters, Saige. Thank you so much for asking. I am everywhere on the internet at a Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. You can also listen to my science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata called We Have Concerns. That's wehaveconcerns.com. Comes out every Friday. And hey, did you know that on Friday nights, I'm right here with you and the rest of the gang playing some D&D on our show Failed Save?
The Bird?
I am the bird.
Incredible. Yes, Failed Save is live every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Come and join us. It's a lot of fun. And hey, even if you don't watch D&D or you don't know D&D, you don't have to. It's improv comedy where we roll dice to decide what happens, and that's about it. It's fuckery. And hey, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, which means tonight. I will be live, of course. Before that, I will be over on Smosh Games this afternoon from 3 to 5. I'll be coming home to stream. Tomorrow, I will be on the D&D Twitch and YouTube channel for the Black Dice Society. Friday, we'll be right back here for It's Too Early because we do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There's a lot of stuff.
So many things.
So many things. We're working on a bunch of cool new things. We're working on making more and better content for you. So thank you for making that possible. We love you very much.
We love you very much,
like, so
BBs.
much. Oh my God. Okay. We will see you on Friday.
I have a bit of a crush on you.
Oh. Bye, BBs.
What?